Hey everybody, it's LWA Gamer and I'm here for the second episode of Professor Layton vs Phoenix Wright. Now I wanted to do this kind of things every week, but the week after I posted the first video I got hospitalized. And after that I rested for a while, and a month after that I got hospitalized again. And now I'm out, and I think I want to start doing videos now. And hopefully I'm fine now. Hopefully. Anyway, what happened? Anyway, in the last episode, we met up with a strange girl by the name of Espella. Now, I think we can. No, I don't want to look at this. I want to look at mysteries. So these were the things we found last time: a strange girl, Espella, Labyrinthia, secrets, the town of Labyrinthia, and the witch that took Espella. So right now we're trying to investigate these few things. So, oh no, I don't want to do that. So now we are out here by the riverside. I'm sorry, I don't live in London, so I really don't know where this is. I'm really sorry. Anyway, we have an inspector here. But before we do that, let's find all the hint coins. So like I said, at least one of them will be found in one of these lamps or candle flames. So that's one of it. Maybe one at the tower. Ah, there it is. There we go. 2, 3. Generally, there will be around three hint coins hidden in each area, and you only find more than 3 hint coins further into the game, like two-thirds into the game, then you'll start getting more than 3 hint coins. But right now, let's talk to the inspector. Hey, you there! This area is off limits. Only Scotland Yard personnel allowed here. Hang on. Oh, it's you, Layton. What are the two of you doing here? It's been a while, Inspector Chalmey. Has there been some kind of incident? Well, more of an accident than an incident. Over there, a motor vehicle has been heavily damaged. A heavy damaged vehicle, you say? That sounds rather serious. But I doubt a Scotland Yard inspector will be involved in something as mundane as a simple traffic accident. Is there perhaps something unusual about this particular accident? As always, you're quick to pick up on the finer points. I should say there's something unusual. In fact, I've never seen nor heard of an accident as unusual as this one. Barton! Would you leave that talking to me? Yes, sir. Of course, sir. An unusual accident? Unusual in what way, precisely? Don't go concerning yourself with it. It is the job of the police to solve this case. You never know, Inspector. I may just be able to help you solve it. What are you saying? Even I don't have all the facts yet. Clues aren't just that easy to come by, you know. Yes, we've got nothing so far. In fact, I'm sure we could use a helping hand. Oi! Barton! I thought I told you, I'll do all the talking. Yes, sir. Understood, sir. Just a moment. I've got it. Hey, Layton. What is it, Inspector? Well, that is to say, if you're so keen on getting involved, why not go and take a look for yourself? That was a sudden change of heart. It was, look, but a welcome one, wouldn't you say? Very well, Inspector. I will take a look. The vehicle is just up ahead there, isn't it? Yes, it is. It's in the park just over there, if you know where I mean. The park is fairly big, so it's quite easy to lose your way. I suppose I'll have to explain, but listen up, I'm only saying this once. When you want to go somewhere else, get on your feet and start walking to wherever you want. So tutorial, basically you have a map option, go to wherever you want, press search. It's pretty basic, that's why I don't really want to go over to these kind of tutorials, because if you don't know how to use these tutorials, you best not be playing this game. Alright. So after that, but don't forget, if you find anything, be sure to come back and let me know. We'll be waiting to hear from you. Professor, I think the unusual accident they were talking about. Indeed. It could well have something to do with our own investigation. Let's go and take a look at the scene of the accident. Look, we may find some clues. Right you are, Professor. When I hear back from them, I may just be able to make something of this case. With the backlog of cases I've piled up, I have to take help where I can get it. Alright, car crash site, let's go. But before that, let's take a look around and see what they have to say. Hey ho! Recently, there seems to be no end of unusual cases. Did something else happen recently? What's this, boy? Haven't you been reading the papers? There's been an incident that all of London's talking about. I'm not boy, I'm Luke. And I'll read the newspaper later. Well, it has nothing to do with this accident, I suppose. At any rate, the whole of Scotland Yard is busy with it at the moment. Normally, I wouldn't be getting involved in something like this. It seems the inspectors are somewhat busy with other cases. I guess we'll have to search for a speller alone. Alright, let's talk to Barton. Let's go. Hey, Puzzle! This is serious. Yes, it seems serious, Constable Barton. I feel sorry for the victims. Bits and pieces all over the place. What? The hamburger I bought for my lunch is all in pieces. A complete mess. This is serious. Oh, I get it. You're talking about your hamburger. I've been trying to draw it up on my notepad, but I can't seem to get it right. Because of this, I just can't seem to concentrate on the case. That is serious. Leave it to me. I'll soon have it sorted out for you. Let's go. Puzzle number 2. Barton's Burger. It's worth 30. Alright, so this puzzle is like a jigsaw puzzle if you've ever played one before. So take the pieces and put them within the space. Alright, so let's start. So we have bits and pieces all over the place, different pieces, large pieces, smaller pieces. So you know in a typical jigsaw puzzle, you have corners, right? And you find those pieces, those jigsaw pieces with like these kind of corners, like square shaped corners, to determine where they go. Well, this puzzle is quite similar. You see the ketchup? Those are your corners per se. So basically what you want to do is find the pieces where the ketchup runs through them, so that you can get the right pieces. So this one will go over here, so that's where the ketchup goes. So this small piece over here, so there's this small little V, so is this little tomato over here. So now this one's going up. Let's find one that's going up. This one seems to fit the bill. So there we go. We have a small little V up there. And probably is this one. Yes, it's that one. And alright, I think it's over there, but I'm not too sure. So let's put this on here first. So that's where the ketchup comes into play. One over here, there's this little piece over here. We'll move the hot dog. I don't see why you want to have hot dog. In fact, they look like bread. It's a bread in a burger. Yeah, very interesting choices, Button. Well, as I suspected, the last piece comes over here. And now we have the Button burger.
This is my answer.
Ding-a-ding-a-ding.
Can you let me do the next one too?
Alright, now up to 50 picarets. I don't know how to pronounce that at all. Alright, now that that's done with, the hamburger's back in one piece. Now you can give it all to the investigation. Yes, at last, I can concentrate. Not on the hamburger, but on the case. Munch munch. Take care not to upset the inspector. If you talk to him again, munch munch, munch munch munch. Nom 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 nom. Constable Barton. Alright, with that said, let's get a move on. Actually, you can tap on the right thing over here to access the map, and you can use the keys over here to get where you want. So there you go. Press A to enter. I'll go over the map in more detail later. Professor, look over there. There's a car up in that tree. Normally you find a cat. I don't think Superman is so obliged to save a car up in the tree. Exclamation mark. This certainly is out of the ordinary. I've never seen anything quite like it. Like Constable Barton said, it seems extremely unusual. I mean, how on earth could something like this happen? We'll need to investigate this closely. Let's take a closer look at the car. As always, let's find hint coins. There's one king coin over there by the lamp. Another one by the lamp. And on the bench, yes. This brings up the total to 39. Alright, let's start investigating. Ooh, a puzzle. Like there was any surprise. The more I see it, the stranger this looks. It's as if the car just flew up there. It's certainly taken some damage. You don't think... could the witches have done this? It certainly is possible. It would appear the accident occurred only moments ago. Wait, what's that mark on the car? Excuse me, gentlemen. Yes, you two. Would you just stop right there? I'm afraid I'll have to ask you to leave. This is a scene of an accident. We haven't finished investigating it yet. As you can no doubt see, it's all rather mysterious. We don't yet know the exact cause of this here mishap. Not a safe place for spectators, I'm afraid. I'll have to ask the both of you to move along. We are not spectators. We've been given the permission from Inspector Chelmy. From the inspector, you say? So you're here officially then? In what capacity, may I ask? Well, not officially as such. The name's Herschel Layton. I'm an archaeologist. You're pulling my leg. You mean to tell me that you're the famous Professor Layton? Now that you mention it, you certainly do resemble the good professor. Of course he does. He is the professor. So, Constable, if you don't mind, may we investigate a little closer? I've been put in charge here, so I can't afford to be wrong about this. Oh, I know. You may just be impersonating Professor Layton. What? Oh, come on! If you're the real Professor Layton, then I'm sure you'll have no trouble solving this little puzzle that I just so happen to have here for no absolute reason, even though I'm supposed to be patrolling and taking care of a car. Sounds interesting. Let me see what you have. Alright, take a look at this. Here. Magic teleportation. Pew. Puzzle number 3. Security Showdown. It's worth 25 picarats. I'm gonna say points. That's a lot easier. Alright, so this is a very intriguing puzzle and one of my favorites. So, basically you have to get from point A to point B. You can only move in the directions of the spaces that are presented to you. All the guards, you can see 3 spaces in front of them, and they walk in a pattern or a certain route. And they loop the route, so it's like a cycle for them. So each step you move, they take 1 step within that cycle. Now the best thing about these kind of puzzles is that there are many ways to solve this puzzle. Okay, there are not many ways, there are 2 that I know of, which I'm gonna show you now. So this is one of them. You tail behind this one, and now you're home free. Seems simple enough, but let's try it a little bit more challenging. Let's go from the bottom. Now, the trick about these kind of puzzles is that when you move, they all take 1 step ahead. So what you want to do to outwit them is to move up and down within spaces that you have liberty of moving. So such as these 2 spaces, you can move front and back so that they'll continue the cycle, and once you think the cycle is complete enough for you to squeeze into an opening, then you just start to move in. So there are many variations of this puzzle, and the future renditions of these puzzles are a lot more intriguing than this. There's a lot more to consider, so we'll tackle them when the time comes, but for now, let's go.
Allow me to show you my puzzle-solving skills. That was indeed an intriguing puzzle.
Alright, our total score is up to 75. That's it! You solved it! Judging by the way you solved the puzzle, there's no doubt that you must be the one and only Professor Layton. Of course, from the very start I had a fairly good idea that it was you, Professor. From the very start you seem to have your doubts, Constable. Well, anyway, feel free to investigate as you wish. But, there is one last thing. Yes. Later, when you've got a free moment, would you mind signing my helmet? Are you sure that's allowed? Come on, Luke. Let's take a look around before the constable changes his mind. Tell me, Luke, did you notice anything strange when we looked at the car? Anything strange? Well, to be honest, the entire incident is pretty unusual. Oh yes, but if we were to suppose this accident occurred naturally, then there is one particular mark that should not be there. A mark that shouldn't be there. Ah! Professor, the handprint. There's a handprint on the bonnet. Well spotted, Luke. But a handprint of that size is too big to be left by any normal person. Indeed, it would it would appear to have been left by a hand of a giant. That's a bit far-fetched. Look, let's look around a little bit more. Isn't there anything in this park that grabs your attention? But Professor, from here I can't see anything strange other than that car. In situations like this, we need to use the zoom in look. In other words, taking a step forward. Zoom in? Taking a step forward? I've never done that in my life. Professor, what is this? Zoom in. Tutorials. When your magnifying glass turns blue, you can zoom in. So this is really weird, but okay. Hey, the statue's hand. It's about the same size as the handprint on the car. Do you think that the car hit that hand when it crashed? That is a possibility, of course. However, the handprint on the car is a right handprint. Look. Right hand. But the statue holding the spear is in the right hand, which means that couldn't be where the handprint came from. Quite right, my boy. And it would appear that this is more than a simple traffic accident. I wonder what could have happened if the handprint was made by the statue. Surely the statue couldn't have moved. I'm positive there's some kind of secret behind this. And whatever it may be, we can be certain it's related to the witch that took Aspella. I think so too, Professor. How else could this kind of accident How else could this kind of accident have occurred? If we investigate more closely, perhaps you'll find some clues. No, look. First, we should head back to see the inspector. Really? But all he seems to say is how unusual it seems. Well, yes. However, there is one more subject about which I'd like to ask him. Oh, what's that? Not what, my boy, but rather, who? Who was in the car when it crashed? Ah! Alright. Let's see what the guy has to say. Hello, Professor. Have you found any clues? That's about all he's gonna say. Alright, so this map, basically it shows you the name of the area, a brief description, the picture, the portrait of the area. So these are the things that will help you a lot. The number of hint coins and hidden puzzles. As you can see, there are 0, even though I think there should have been 1, because I don't think anyone. It's really easy to miss the one about constable button. So yeah. But anyway, let's head in. So, what did you think? It's no simple accident, is it? Oh, but this one's even surprised the great Professor Layton, hasn't it? Without doubt. This is no ordinary accident. May I ask you how the driver was? He wasn't seriously hurt. He's a real jammy dodger, that one. In fact, we're about to take him into custody for questioning. Strictly private, I'm afraid. Inspector Chalming, there's something I would like to know. What's that then? The driver's name. Was it, by any chance, Carmen Echidante. I think that's how it's pronounced. Eh? How the devil? Where did you get that? Where did you get that information? Ho ho. Well, you could just say a little bird told me. He's something of an unlucky yet lucky type. Always getting himself into trouble. Only to miraculously escape unharmed. An acquaintance of yours, is he? He attended my lectures a few years back. An outstanding student. Is that so? Well, perhaps you should have lectured him on how to stay out of trouble. We've had our eye on him for some time. He's a bit of a maverick, the detective. Always sniffing out dangerous situations and poking his nose into trouble. Unlucky isn't the half of it. I tell you, I wasn't surprised to find him involved in this ruckus. Professor, that means this must be the incident in which Carmine was attacked. Yes, it would seem so. What's this? Know something I don't, do you? No, nothing at all, Inspector. I was hoping you might come up with something. I was hoping you might just come up with something I could use. Never mind. Now that I've got the detective, I may be able to wring something from him. I'd really like to know how such an accident occurred. Inspector, just one other question. Is there any evidence to suggest that Carmine was not alone in the car? What's that? Someone else in the car? No, there's nothing to suggest that. Is that so? Well, was there anything else unusual about the accident that you haven't mentioned? Anything else unusual? No, not as far as I'm aware. Wait a minute. We did see those strange people in Halloween costumes. Oi, Barton. Like I said before, I'll do all the talking. Yes, Inspector. Sorry, Inspector. These people in Halloween costumes. Can you tell me anything about them? You're certainly persistent, Layton. To be honest with you, I don't think they had anything to do with it. We saw a group of them loitering around Tower Bridge. I decided to question them, but when I took my eyes off them, for a second they just disappeared. I wonder what in the blazes they were up to, wandering about dressed like that. When precisely was this? Just a moment ago. About the same time you went to the park. Halloween costumes. Professor, could it be? I see what you mean. It seems that we may have a lead. Thank you for your help, Inspector. Now, hold on. What's this all about? Well, we seem to have come to the right place, alright? Yes. It would appear the witches attacked Aspella and Carmine in the park, before coming after Aspella and abducting her from my office. Following that, they must have made their way from there to Tower Bridge. We may still catch up with them if we hurry. Let's go. Alright. So that's about ends it for me today. So after this episode, we'll investigate this new mystery. Investigation. The professor's former student, Carmine Echidante, who gave Aspella a letter for the professor, was involved in a car crash while they were being pursued by witches. What was he investigating in Labyrinthia? The news of Carmine's accident came as a shock, but at least he survived. I would like to have discussed things with him. With that in mind, I think we've done enough for this episode. So, in the next episode, we'll be investigating Tower Bridge, a suspicion. So, this is where we're going in the next episode. Hope you like this episode. Like it if you want, share it, comment please. If you have anything constructive, please tell me. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.